Hello, in today's lesson, lesson 2.12, we're going to discuss some algebra concepts, and we're going to solve multi-step problems using equations. And so we're on page 93 of our fourth grade textbook. And so let's look at our unlock the problem. Chris Murray's computer has 3 hard drives with 64 gigabytes of space each, and 2 hard drives with 16 gigabytes of space each. The files on her computer use 78 gigabytes of space. How much hard drive does her computer have left? All right, so we have 3 hard drives, 64 gigabytes each. That word's important. That means I can multiply. 2 hard drives, 16 gigabytes of space each. And her computer used 78 gigabytes. How much does her computer have left? So that's a clue that we need to subtract. All right, so underline the important information. I actually circled it, so feel free to underline it. So one way we can solve this problem is to use multiple single-step equations. In other words, I noticed that we have 3 hard drives with 64 gigabytes. We have 2 hard drives with 16 gigabytes. So if we broke those into separate equations, we'll eventually get to our answer. So let's see what happens here. So find out how much drive space is on 3 hard drives with 64 gigabytes of space each. So they drew a model, and we have 64 in the bar model. And if you add those all up, that gives you the total space on the 3 hard drives. And so the multiplication problem for that would be 3 times 64 is n. And we know how to do this type of problem. 3 times 4 ones is 12 ones. We would regroup that as 1 10 and 2 ones. 3 sets of 6 tens is 18, plus 1 more is 19. So the 3 hard drives have 192 gigabytes of space. Step 2 would be finding out how much space is on the 2 hard drives with 16 gigabytes. So again, we have a bar model, and we have 16 gigabytes in each box. And if you add those together, it will equal P. It could be any number, any letter. So 2 times 16 equals P, or the total space. And so technically I can do 16 plus 16 in my head, but let's go ahead and go through the steps. 2 times 6 ones is 12 ones. We would regroup that as 1 10 and 2 ones. 2 times 1 10 is 2, plus 1 regroup 10 is 3. So the 2 hard drives have 32 gigabytes of space. Now we have to figure out how much total space we have with both types of hard drives. So in that case, we have the 192 plus the 32. 192 plus the 32 will give me the total space on the computer. And in this case, they're calling it A. So 192 plus 32. And 2 plus 2 is 4. 9 plus 3 is 12 tens. Regroup that as 102 tens. And we add that together, so we get 224 gigabytes of space. Now, she uses 78 gigabytes of space. So we're going to take the 78. We're actually going to subtract it from the 224. That'll tell us how much space is left. So in our bar model, we know that the space left plus the 78 already used has to add up to 224. That's how much space she has total. So we'll come over here and we'll go 224 minus 78. And we know we can't take 8 from 4, so we'll regroup. And now we'll take 14 take away 8 ones is 6 ones. And 1 take away 7, we know we can't do that. So we'll regroup like this. And now 11 tens take away 7 tens is 4, leaving us with 1. So there's 146 gigabytes of hard drive space left on the computer. All right, so that's multi-steps. That's what the lesson is. So we had to do 2 multiplication problems. Then we added the products of those 2 problems. And then we had to actually subtract. So the only operation we didn't do here was division. All right, so let's move on. The other way we can do this type of problem, and so it's the same type of problem, it's just set up differently, and that's using the order of operations. You were introduced to order of operations in third grade, and remember that that's a special set of rules that gives the order in which calculations are done in an expression. First, multiply and divide left to right. Then add and subtract left to right. So no matter what, if we have multiplication and division in a problem with addition and subtraction, you have to multiply or divide first. And we're going to do that left to right. And so we'll practice that, and I'll show you what I would recommend that you do until you get in the habit of the order of operations. But so our problem was we had 3 hard drives with 64 gigabytes. We added the 2 hard drives of 16 gigabytes, and then we subtracted 78. So that's the 3 equations put into one. We have the 2 multiplication problems, and we're going to subtract the 78. All right, so now when we have an expression like this, we can only eliminate one operation at a time. And so we're going to call this simplifying. Okay, so the first one I'm going to simplify is this multiplication. I have to multiply first. So you might want to get in the habit of circling the multiplication or division numbers, because that'll just have you focus on the fact that you need to do that operation first. Now, there are 2 other things that are a priority in expressions. We haven't discussed those at this point, but if you see a parenthesis or exponents in a problem, you do have to do those 2 things first. And but for right now, we're just focusing on, if you have multiplication and division, you do that left to right. If you have addition and subtraction, you also do that left to right. Okay, but multiplication and division first over addition and subtraction. So 3 times 64. So 3 times 64, we know, is 192. Okay, now I said we can only simplify one part at a time. So everything else we're going to write exactly as it was written. So the only thing I eliminated was the 3 times 64. I really didn't eliminate it, I simplified it. So now I see that I still have one multiplication problem. So I don't just go left to right. I have to do the multiplication part first. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite the 192. 2 times 16 is 32. And then I'm going to rewrite whatever's left. Okay, I'm going to rewrite everything to the right of what I'm simplifying. Now I have addition and subtraction. And the order of operations states when you have addition and subtraction left, you just go left to right. So 192 and 134 is 224. Take away 78. So I added 192 and 32 and got 224. And we're going to take away 78. So 224, take away 78, gives me 146. Okay. And so I personally will use this method in most of my problems. I will combine it all into one equation. All right, so we're going to use the order of operations to find the value of n in the problem. So we have 5 times 17 plus 5 times 20 minus 32 equals sum total. So I see multiplication and I see multiplication. So I know I'm going to have to do those 2 multiplication problems first. And so I'm going to go left to right with those multiplication problems. I'm going to start with this one. So 5 times 17. 17 times 5. 5 times 17 is 35 ones. Regroup as 3 tens and 5 ones. 5 times 110 is 5, plus 3 more is 8. So we have 85. So I'm putting this little symbol to show that I combined the 5 and the 17 to get 85. I'm going to rewrite everything to the right of that operation exactly as it was written. Okay, so we made our problem simpler by by simplifying one of the multiplication problems. We, in a sense, took the multiplication out by doing it. So now we have 85 plus 5 times 20 minus 32. So I still have a multiplication part here. I have to do that first. I cannot add before multiplying. So 5 times 20 is 100. I didn't put that down and multiply by the ones and the tens because 520s is 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. It's kind of an easy fact. I also can do 5 times 2 in my head, which is 10, and then put the 0 from the 20. And then rewrite the minus 32 because we haven't done anything with that. Now we're left with just addition and subtraction. So 100 plus 85, should be able to do that in our head. 185. Take away 32. I'll write this down just to make sure. Okay, I'm going to line up my place value. And now I can subtract. 5 ones, take away 2 ones is 3 ones. 8 tens, take away 3 tens, 5 tens. 100, take away nothing is 100. So n equals 153. Okay, so now let's move on to number 2. And I'm going to go ahead and get a piece of scratch paper to solve these problems, just because the space is kind of limited here, and I want to be able to show the different steps. So I'm going to copy the problem exactly as it's written. Okay, and so I'm just going to confirm that it matches 3 times 22 plus 7 times 41 minus 24. So as I look at this, I see that I have 2 priorities. I have 2 multiplication problems that must be done first. So I'm going to do the 3 times the 22 first. 3 times 2 ones is 6. 3 times 2 10 is 6 tens. So 66. And then I'm going to rewrite everything else to the right exactly as it was already written. Okay, now I still see a multiplication problem. Remember, I cannot add before multiplying. So I'm going to rewrite the 66 and 7 times 41. 7 ones is 7. 7 40s is 28 tens. So 287. And I'm rewrite everything to the right of that operation. Okay, so I started by simplifying the 3 times 22. Then I simplify it 7 times 41. And now I have addition and subtraction. I'll go left to right. So next, we have 287 plus 66. 7 and 6 is 13 ones. Regroup as 110 and 3 ones. 8 and 6 is 14, plus 1 more is 15 tens. Regroup that as 100 and 5 tens. And 2 and 1 is 3. So when I combine those, I get 353. And I have one step left. I have to subtract 24. So 353, take away 24. I can't take 4 from 3, so I'll regroup like this. And 13 take away 4 is 9. And 4 tens take away 2 tens is 2. And 3 take away nothing is 3. So n equals 329. Okay, number 3. Again, make sure you copy the problem exactly like it's written. So 4 times 34 plus 6 times 40 minus 66 equals n. Okay, so did we copy the problem exactly? 4 times 34 4 times 34 plus 6 times 40 minus 66. Okay, so the problems match. There's multiplication in both of those, so I'm going to do 34 times 4 first. And 4 times 4 ones is 16. Regroup the 110. 4 times 3 tens is 12 tens, plus 1 more is 13 tens. Okay, rewrite everything else. Next step, I still see multiplication, so I'm going to do that one. I'm going to do this one in my head. 6 times 4 is 24, plus the 0 from the 40. So I have 136 plus 240 minus 66 left. Now we're going to add the 136 and the 240 because we just go left to right when I only have addition and subtraction left. And 6 and 240 and 136. 6 and nothing is 6. 4 tens and 3 tens is 7. 200 plus 100 is 300. 376. Take away 66. 6 take away 6 is 0. 7 take away 6 is 1. And then 3 take away nothing is 3. So number 3, we get 310. All right, number 4. We have 2 times 62 plus 8 times 22 minus 53 equals n. I see multiplications. I see two multiplication problems, so I know I need to do those first. Okay, I'm going to do the multiplications left to right. So 2 times 2 ones is 4 ones, and 2 times 6 tens is 12 tens. I'm going to rewrite the rest of the expression. Okay. So I did this part, but I haven't done anything with this. So I just rewrote it. Okay, I still see multiplication. That's going to be more important than adding or subtracting in this problem. So 8 sets of 22. 8 times 2 is 16. Regroup 110. 8 and 2 is 16 tens, plus 1 more is 17. So we get 176. Okay. And so we rewrote the 124. We simplified 8 times 22. And now we're going to take away the 53 there. So now I only have addition and subtraction. Go left to right. 124 plus 176. 6 ones plus 4 ones is 10 ones. Regroup that as 110. 7 tens, 2 tens, 1 more 10 is 10 tens, or regroup that as 100. So we get 300. 300 take away 53 is what? 300 take away 53. Now, I like to treat 300 as calling it as 30 tens. If I call that 30 tens, I can take one of the tens and give it to the ones, leaving me 29 tens. 10 take away 3 is 7, 9 take away 5 is 4, and 2 take away nothing is 200. So 247. All right, number 5. Copy the problem exactly. 6 times 13 plus 9 times 34 minus 22 equals n. Okay, I see multiplication and multiplication. So I want to do those first. Okay, so I'm going to simplify the multiplication problems left to right. 6 times 10 is 60. 6 times 10 is 60. 6 times 3 is 18, so 78. I'm going to rewrite the rest of the problem, or rest of the expression. Okay, and now I see I have multiplication, so I'm going to do that first. So 9 times 34. This time I'll do this with regrouping. 9 times 4 is 36. Regroup the 36 ones as 3 tens and 6 ones. 9 sets of 3 tens is 27 tens, plus 3 more tens is 30 tens. Rewrite everything to the right, and that leaves us 78 plus 306 minus 22. We'll just add or subtract left to right. 306 plus 78. 8 and 6 is 14. Regroup that as 110 and 4 ones. 7 and 110 is 8 tens. And 300s plus nothing is 300. So we have 384 take away 22. So we only have one operation left. So we'll do that. 4 take away 2, 2. 8 tens take away 2 tens, 6 tens. 300 take away nothing, 300. So number 5 is 362. All right. Moving right along. Number 6. All right. 8 times 42 plus 3 times 59 minus 62 is n. So, okay, I'm going to copy the problem exactly as written in my book. 8 times 42 plus 3 times 59 minus 62 is some value or some total. I see I have multiplication first, so I'm going to multiply left to right first. 8 times 42. 8 times 2 ones is 16 ones. Regroup that as 110 and 6 ones. 8 sets of 4 tens is 32 tens. Plus 1 more 10 is 33 tens, which is 330 plus the 6, so 336. Plus 3 times 59 minus 62. Okay, so I still have multiplication, so I need to simplify that first. Multiplication over addition and subtraction. So I'm going to rewrite that. 59 times 3. 3 sets of 9 is 27 ones. Regroup that as 2 tens, 7 ones. 3 sets of 5 tens is 15 tens, and 2 more tens is 177. And rewrite the rest of the expression to the right, which was minus 62. Now we have addition and subtraction. I'm just going to go left to right. 336 plus 177. 7 and 6 ones is 13 ones. Regroup that as 110 and 3 ones. 7 and 3 tens is 10 tens, plus 1 more is 11 tens. Regroup that as 100 and 110. And then add up the hundreds, and we have 5 hundreds. So 513 take away 62 is what number? So I'm going to rewrite that here. 3 take away 2 is 1. I can't take 6 from 1, so I'm going to regroup the 500 as 400 and 10 tens. 11 take away 6 is 5 tens, and 400 take away nothing is 400. So 451 is the answer for number 6. Number 7. 6 times 27 plus 2 times 47 minus 83 equals n. Okay, we should be getting the hang of this now. We have multiplication. I need to do all multiplication left to right before any addition and subtraction. 27 times 6. 6 times 27 is 42. 6 times 2 tens is 12, plus 4 more is 16 tens. So 162 plus 2 times 47 minus 83 equals n. I still have multiplication. I'm going to simplify that next. So 47 times 2. 2 sets of 7 ones, 14 ones. Regroup that as 110 and 4 ones. 2 sets of 4 tens is 8 tens, plus 1 more is 94 tens. 90 tens. 9 tens. I'll say it right eventually, sorry. And then minus the 83. Okay. So we simplified here, and we're left with addition and subtraction. 162 plus 94. 4 ones plus 2 ones is 6 ones. 9 tens plus 6 tens is 15 tens. 100 plus 100, 256. Take away 83. 256, take away 83. 6 take away 3 ones is 3 ones. I can't take 8 tens from 5 tens, so I'll regroup the 200 as 100 and 10 tens. So now we have 15 tens. 15 take away 8 is 7. 100 take away nothing is 100. So n equals 173. Number 8. Maggie has 3 binders with 25 stamps in each binder. She has 5 binders with 24 baseball cards in each binder. If she gives 35 stamps to a friend, how many stamps and cards does she have left? All right, so we have 3 binders, 25 stamps. 5 binders, 24 baseball cards. She gives 35 stamps to a friend. That means she has to subtract, right? And then I have a clue here too, where it says how much does she have left. Okay, so let's put that in. Let's write any expression based on what information we have. So 3 binders with 25 stamps. That's multiplication. 3 times 25. She also has, so addition, 5 binders of 24. But then she gave away 35. So 3 sets of binders at 25. I know that 3/4 is 75. I'm going to rewrite everything else. I still have multiplication, so I'll rewrite everything else. 5 times 24. 5 times 4 ones is 20 ones. Regroup that as 2 tens and 0 ones. 5 times 2 tens is 10 tens, plus 2 more is 12 tens. And then rewrite anything else that we have not done yet. All right, now we're going to simplify left to right, adding. So 120 plus 75. 5 and nothing is 5. 7 tens and 2 tens is 9 tens, and 100. 195, take away 35. 5 take away 5 is 0. 9 tens take away 3 tens is 6 tens, and 100. So 160 stamps and baseball cards left. Okay, number 9. Maddox has 4 boxes with 32 marbles in each box. He has 7 boxes with 18 shells in each box. If he gets 20 marbles from a friend, how many marbles and shells does he have? So it's still same basic idea. 4 boxes, 32 marbles in each. 7 boxes, 18 shells in each. He gets 20 marbles. So that means he's going to add 20 marbles because his friend's giving him 20. Okay. So we can still write any expression, same way we've been practicing. So 4 boxes of 32. 4 boxes of 32 plus his 7 boxes of 18 plus the 20 marbles from a friend. Gives him a total number of how many marbles and shells. So I'm going to do any multiplication first, and 4 times 32 will be first because we're going to go left to right. 4 times 32. 4 times 2 is 8 ones. 4 times 3 tens is 12 tens. Rewrite everything else that was to the right of that expression. Okay, so everything else that we haven't simplified, we just rewrite it exactly as it's written. My next, I see I have still multiplication left. So I'm going to rewrite the problem as 128, but then I'm going to multiply 18 times 7, 56 ones. Regroup that as 5 tens and 6 ones. 7 sets of 110 is 7, and 5 more is 12. 12 tens. All right, so now all I have left is addition. So 128 plus 126. 14 ones, regroup as 110 and 4 ones. 2, 4, 5 tens. 100, 100, 254. Plus 20. Okay, this one we can do in our head. 54, add 20 more, 274. So 274 marbles and shells. Okay, number 10. The soccer team sells 54 bagels with cream cheese for $2 each, 36 muffins for $1 each during a bake sale. The coach uses the money to buy socks for the 14 players. The socks cost $6 per pair. How much money does the coach have left? Explain how you found your answer. Okay, so 10. We have 54 bagels at $2 each. So 54 times 2. They also sold 36 muffins at $1 each. So we're going to add the muffins. Okay. So this represents the bagels, 54 times $2, and these are the muffins. But then we have an additional situation where he has 14 players and he spent $6 on each player to buy socks. So we're going to have to take away the 14 times 6. So these are the two things they sold. So that's the money made. Take away how much he spent on socks. All right. So we have multiplication, multiplication, multiplication. And we need to multiply left to right. So 2 sets of 54. We could probably do that in our head. 2 sets of 4 is 8. 2 sets of 5 tens is 10. So 108. 36 times. Then we're going to rewrite everything else. And we should have an end there to have the equation. All right. So now we have multiplication left. I can't do addition before multiplication, so I'm just going to rewrite the 108 with the plus sign. 36 times 1 is 36. Rewrite everything else. Okay. So we've simplified 2 of our multiplication problems. And that's how we got 108 plus 36. I still have 1 multiplication problem left. So 108 plus 36 minus 14 times 6. 6 times 4 ones is 24 ones. 6 sets of 110 is 6, plus 2 more is 8. So 84. Now we have addition and subtraction. Just add left or right. 108 plus 36. 8 and 6 is 14. 3 tens and 1 10 is 4 tens. And 100 plus nothing is 144. Minus 84. Okay, 144. Take away 84. 4 ones, take away 4 ones, 0. I can't take 8 from 4 tens, so I'll regroup. I'll rename the 100 as no hundreds and 10 tens. Now I have 14 tens. 14 take away 8 is 6. So he has $60 left. So what did we do to get $60? First, 54 times 2 to get cost of bagel profit of bagels. Then 36 times 1 to get profit of muffins. Followed by 14 times 6 to get cost of socks. We then added 108 plus 36 to get 144. And last, subtracted 84 from 144 to get $60 left. Okay, and number 11. So what is the error? Dominic has 5 books with 12 postcards in each book. He has 4 boxes with 20 coins in each box. If he gives 15 postcards to a friend, how many postcards and coins does he have left? 5 books of 12. Okay, that's good. 4 boxes of 20. All right, that's good. And he gives 15 away. Okay, so that's good. All right, so his drawings were wonderful. Okay, so now let's see what he did. 5 sets of 12. That's right, 5 times 12. Plus the boxes of coins, 4 times 20. That's good. And he gave away 15 postcards. All right, so that's the expression's perfect. So that's good. 5 times 12. Yes, 5 times 12 is 60. Rewrite everything else. Plus 4 times 20 minus 15 is n. Oh, but here, he should have simplified the multiplication because the multiplication is more important than addition or subtraction. So his mistake was adding 60 plus 4 instead of multiplying 4 and 20. So this was what it should have been. So 5 times 12 plus 4 times 20 minus 15 equals n. So that's a very common mistake. So that's kind of why I was suggesting circling the multiplication, just as a way of saying, oh, I know you have to do that first. He was right that 5 times 12 is 60, and he rewrote everything else perfectly. And then he got to this step. And instead of adding, he needs to multiply the 4 and the 20. So that should be 80. And then minus 15. Then you can combine the 60 and 80 and get 140 minus 15. 140, take away 15. I can't take 5 from nothing, so I'll regroup that as 3 tens and 10 ones. 10 take away 5 is 5. 3 tens take away 1 10 is 2 tens and 1. So n equals 125. So his answer is significantly different than what he should have gotten. Okay, and so that's because he was multiplying 64 by 20 instead of adding 60 plus 80. Okay, so he has 125 postcards and coins left. So that's it for lesson 212. Our next time we meet, we'll be doing the chapter 2 review. So until then, may the numbers always be in your favor.